Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I thought I'd stop by and speak about something that is very simple for many people. I guess it would be simple for those that are a bit savvy with information technology, but there's a lot more than don't know something simple as how to install a printer, and they have a hard time doing this. So I thought I came up with a tutorial for installing a printer in Windows because not a lot of people uses Linux, even though Linux and Mac it's fairly easy to install a printer. But I will come up with another tutorial depending on how this one goes. I will share a tutorial on how to install a wireless printer uh, on Linux and on a Mac. Anyways, how to install a wireless printer on Windows or in Windows. So the first thing you need to do is, of course, I'm just gonna say this over the top briefly. Well, you need to unpack it, connect it. One thing that you need to make sure this is that you read the guide from the printer. And if you don't have a guide, you can always look it up on Google, okay, for that brand name of that specific printer that you have because they will give you instructions on how to download the drivers. That is something that you might need depending on the Windows version that you have because sometimes the Windows updates will install some drivers for some printers. But in case I advise you, I recommend that you install the drivers. Okay, so see your user guide that came with the printer or look it up in Google. Okay, now if you don't know how to do that, then you might need somebody, a professional IT technician or somebody that knows how to do this thing. Look for the drivers, install the printers. If you already have that, then you can go ahead and continue. All right. So on your Windows logo, on your Windows machine, you will click on the left-hand side at the bottom, the Windows logo. So you see that, and on the search bar, okay, which is this one, you will type printers. So when you type printers, you will see the icon that says printers and scanners. You will select that. Once you select it, okay, you will click on the icon. A new window is going to come up, and you will select and click add a printer or scanner. If you see down in the list of printers and scanners, if your printer is not in the list, then you add a printer or a scanner. Okay. So you let it search and yada 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 yada. Okay. And then after searching, because it might not be in the list, you're gonna select the printer that I want isn't listed, right? All right. So that when you click that, it's gonna bring you to this window right here. So in this window, you will select add a printer using an IP address or host name. Now, going back to the beginning, when you open up your printer, your wireless printer, one of the things that you can look up on the guide that came for that printer, or in the guide, I'm sorry, for that printer, they should be able to tell you how to connect to your Wi-Fi router. That way, it's going to give you an IP address. So once your printer is connected to the Wi-Fi router, you will get an IP address. Make sure make a note of that one. Okay. So going back to the step, you select add a printer using an IP address or host name, right? And then you hit next. See, like I just said. And I said, by the way, make sure that the printer is already connected uh, to the wireless home. Sorry, the wireless home router. Yeah. So that it can be it has to be on the same Wi-Fi. That's why you need to have it connected to the Wi-Fi router. Okay. So moving on. Then In the device type, you will see if you see the drop down list here, you will choose TCP/IP device and you will give it a name. Now, here, not the name of the printer, but the IP address that you have on the printer. That's how you will put. Now, the port name, it will be added for you automatically when you start typing the IP address of the printer. You will hit next. Okay? So when you hit next, you will have this window that's going to show you standard, whatever. If you already have installed the drivers on in Windows, you will be able to find your printer here. Just select it, okay? When you select it, okay, you hit next. So when you hit next, this window will come up and it will show you the name. Like I said, if the drivers have been installed, you will be able to choose your printer name and the drivers. You know, most of the time is one and one. So it's not really hard to find. Okay. And in the user guide that came with the printer, it'll give you the same details as well. Okay. All right. So we keep going. We hit, we go with the manufacturer with, let's say this example, a generic, and I choose generic text only, whatever, and then I hit next, right? But you will choose your printer with the right manufacturer and the printer. Don't forget that. Okay. So you then hit next. Okay. Now you will give it a name. I gave it a name of test. You can give it whatever name you want. Okay. Now don't forget that name. Okay. So you hit next. Now you'll see, whatever you select share, and the location if you want, a comment if you want. It's not needed. Then you hit next. Okay. Then once you've done this, it will say you have successfully added, for me it was test, your printer name, whatever. And you could do a print test that way to make sure that it is connected and it's working. After that, just hit finish. So, and that's it. You're done. So happy printing. If you have any questions or anything, let me know and I should be able to help you. Thanks.